Welcome, and thank you for joining this deep and exciting journey into the world of rare and astonishingly valuable coins, where ordinary pocket change can turn into life-changing discoveries. Today, we're diving into a story that seems almost unbelievable at first glance, a story that takes us straight into the heart of American numismatics and the mystery surrounding the 2008 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny. This coin, a piece with a face value of only 1 cent, has captured the imagination of collectors around the world because of the possibility that certain rare errors, minting anomalies, and unique circumstances could push its value into astronomical territory. The idea that a simple 2008 Lincoln penny could be worth $678 million sounds impossible, yet throughout history, coins struck with unusual mistakes or produced under unusual conditions have fetched extraordinary prices at auctions. Today, we're going to break down what makes the 2008 penny such a fascinating subject, what types of errors could justify such a value, and why collectors search tirelessly for coins like this in the hope of finding their own treasure hiding in plain sight. Before diving deeper, imagine holding a coin that millions of people carry every day. A coin that most would toss into a jar, drop in a glove compartment, or slide across a counter without a second thought. Now imagine that this same coin is secretly worth hundreds of millions of dollars because it contains an error so rare, so unusual, that only one example may exist in the entire world. That possibility alone is enough to create excitement, speculation, and endless curiosity. The 2008 Lincoln cent stands at the edge of such possibilities, and that's why so many collectors and hobbyists closely analyze these pennies for hints of unusual patterns, doubled inscriptions, off-metal strikes, and mint mark mysteries that could transform a common piece of currency into a rare artifact of American history. The 2008 penny occupies a significant place in the timeline of the Lincoln cent because it was one of the last years before the dramatic design changes of 2009, when the United States Mint released special anniversary editions honoring the centennial of Lincoln's birth. That makes 2008 a transitional year. Transitional years often produce some of the most interesting and unusual mint errors because of equipment recalibration, die replacements, and preparation for upcoming redesigns. When this happens, there's always a chance that a rare and spectacular mint error can escape unnoticed, ending up in circulation, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows exactly what to look for. Collectors have speculated for years about the potential for rare error coins from 2008 because many other dates in the Lincoln cent series have produced surprise discoveries, coins that weren't known even to exist until someone accidentally found them in loose change or a roll of pennies. That possibility fuels the imagination and makes every coin worth checking, especially when dealing with a transitional year like 2008. The idea of a penny worth $678 million may sound exaggerated, but in numismatics, theoretical value often stems from the magnitude of rarity. A one-of-a-kind error can have no price ceiling when wealthy collectors, museums, historical institutions, and private investors engage in competitive bidding for ownership of a singular artifact. One of the most significant factors that can make a coin incredibly valuable is an off-metal strike. In the world of coin minting, an off-metal strike happens when a coin is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a completely different coin. For example, a Lincoln cent struck on a dime planchet, a foreign coin planchet, or even an experimental alloy could instantly transform it into a piece of numismatic history. Off-metal errors have sold at auctions for staggering prices, before some reaching hundreds of thousands or even millions. If a 2008 penny exists that was mistakenly struck on an uncommon metal or a transitional alloy no longer used for circulation, this alone could justify the extremely high valuation. Imagine a 2008 cent struck on a leftover bronze planchet from decades earlier. Imagine a penny accidentally struck on a foreign planchet due to a supply chain mishap. The likelihood is small, but history proves it's not impossible. Another potential source of extreme value is a dramatic die error. Die errors occur when the tool used to strike the design onto the coin malfunctions or develops damage that leaves a one-of-a-kind imprint. A double die error, for example, happens when the design elements on the coin appear to be doubled because of misalignment in the die creation process. The famous 1955 double die cent is a legendary example that sold for staggering prices despite not being unique. Now imagine a similar dramatic double die error happening in 2008, but instead of being widely released, only one coin slipped through before the mint discovered the mistake and destroyed the rest. A single surviving example would instantly become priceless, with collectors battling fiercely over the privilege of owning it. There is also the possibility of a mule error. A mule error is one of the rarest and most valuable types of minting mistakes in the world. This happens when two dies from completely different coins are accidentally paired together. A penny struck with the reverse of a nickel or dime, or with the wrong obverse design, would be an unprecedented discovery. Mule errors have been known to sell for millions, and in some cases, they are considered so rare that their value becomes immeasurable. If such a mule error exists for the 2008 Lincoln cent, it could easily become one of the most expensive American coins ever discovered. Another factor that could contribute to the extreme hypothetical valuation of $678 million is the presence of unique mint mark anomalies. Mint marks indicate where a coin was produced. In 2008, pennies were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but occasionally, mint marks can be misplaced, overpunched, or accidentally omitted. Overpunched mint marks, such as a D punched over AP or a repunched mint mark where the letter appears doubled or tripled, can create incredible value for collectors. If a 2008 cent were found with an impossible mint mark combination or a previously unknown variety that exists on only a single coin, it would instantly become a phenomenon. Compounding all of this is the mystique that surrounds the Lincoln cent series in general. These coins have been collected for generations. They're familiar, iconic, and woven into American culture. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the enduring wheat and shield designs on different generations of the coin make the series deeply sentimental for collectors. This emotional attachment increases demand, and in numismatics, demand paired with rarity is the perfect formula for extraordinary value. Therefore, if a single 2008 penny were to surface with an error so rare that no other example exists, this sentimental attachment, combined with historical significance, would drive its price to unimaginable levels. Understanding why coins with errors have such extreme value requires diving into the psychology of collecting. Humans are naturally drawn to rarity. When something is believed to be one of a kind, it becomes more than an object, it becomes a treasure, a piece of history, a tangible connection to the past. The thrill of owning something no one else in the world has makes wealthy collectors willing to pay almost any price. That's why paintings, artifacts, manuscripts, and rare coins sometimes sell for prices that seem irrational. They aren't valued for their material content but for their historical and cultural significance. A penny made of copper and zinc may only be worth 1 cent in terms of metal, but as a unique artifact, its value could soar. The story of the 2008 penny's speculative value also reflects the mysterious culture of hidden varieties. Many discoveries in numismatics were not identified by the U.S. Mint but by ordinary people examining coins at home. It's entirely possible that a 2008 penny with a unique error is still out there, resting quietly in a jar of coins, a forgotten drawer, or a collection inherited but never examined closely. Discoveries like this are part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Everyone has a chance, even those who aren't experts. Anyone could stumble upon a piece worth hundreds of thousands or even millions, simply because they decided to look more closely. Consider the possibility of a major die break error in 2008. A die break occurs when the die used to strike coins becomes cracked. The resulting coins show raised lines or unusual patterns caused by metal flowing into the cracks. In extreme cases, these can form dramatic shapes known as retained cuds or full cuds. If a 2008 penny contained a massive die break in the exact shape of something symbolically tied to American history or Lincoln himself, collectors would assign enormous value based on both rarity and symbolism. Numismatic history shows that visually dramatic errors sell for far more than subtle ones because they intrigue both collectors and investors. Another possibility that collectors dream about is the existence of a prototype or test strike from 2008. Before new designs are released, the mint sometimes creates trial pieces using various metals, dyes, and experimental alloys. These pieces are not meant to leave the mint. But mistakes happen, and on rare occasions, a test coin escapes into circulation.